Good morning, crafty ones, and welcome to the first episode of Vladtasic with your host, Vladminry. We're standing out in front of my base right now. We can see the large phoenix, which is my symbol, my logo, my anthem, my identification, my identity, it's me. You see that banner anywhere on the Crafty Ones server? That is me. Me, Vladminry. Anyway, I want to show you guys around my base today. And if you have any ideas of what I can do, where I can go, different ideas of builds I can make with it, just let me know. So let's go ahead and get on with the tour, shall we? Right now we're standing on a bridge I made. Now I use diorite, and I know Iskall doesn't like diorite, but I happen to like diorite. It's a nice white block that offsets very well with the concrete, or with the gray of the stone block. Cobblestone. There's just so many gray blocks in here. They tend to all blend together. So to have a nice white textured block like diorite out there, especially when it's smooth and it's polished, it really helps make the game pop. I enjoy using diorite. It makes things stand out. Even if Iskall thinks it's bird poop, that's Iskall's. Now, as we walk down to the main walkway here, you can see that I have these small little braziers built on the left and the right with using diorite columns, granite trim, and stone blocks for the top and the bottom. It gives a nice little accent, helps light it up, helps show the path. And it also gives a little bit of, what's the word I'm looking for? It makes it bold, it makes it pop, it makes it intimidate you a little bit. On the server, we also have an armor stands mod, which allows us to make custom armor stands and pose them in different ways. And I decided to use that as inlays in my front wall to decorate it, just to show a little bit of extravagance, a little bit of magnificence to it. Adds a little interest, and it also helps take away just the just the boring drabness of having a plain flat stone wall here. One of the things that you got to remember when you're decorating is always try to make something interesting. Try to make the eye draw to a certain theme, a certain location, and appeal. Now over here I had some armor stands set in a lower spot here, but a creeper blew up and, well, yeah, it was sad. I will fix it eventually. I just haven't gotten around to it just yet. Inside my base, as you can see, we are living inside a giant cave. I haven't done a whole lot with it. I have expanded it out, but I haven't really decorated it too much in here. And as you can see, from the outside, I was talking about how those armor stands were inlaid and everything looked nice and flush. Inside here, it's all just kind of like flat and drab. It really needs some help. And this season, I will be decorating it all up. I will be turning these into some rooms. Really add some accents and making it pop. But if you have any suggestions or comments for me about how I can do that, let me know down below. I'd love to hear from you. In the meantime, we've got my to-do list. So, one of the things we need to do is I'm planning on building a Death Maze 2000. Now, Death Maze 2000 is going to be a maze where the other crafty ones can come. They'll drop in a diamond, and they'll go through a maze with all kinds of booby traps and pit traps and maybe some mobs, and really be difficult. I'm thinking about making it multiple level, but if they can finish the maze, they can get to the end of the maze without dying, well, there'll be a nice prize waiting for them at the end. It's supposed to be fun, so I will put a bed over there for them to begin with so that they could set their spawn, and a chest for them to take all their items off, because I would not want them to lose any of their items and stuff in this maze. I'm thinking about giving them some basic survival items. Second thing I want to do is open a bow shop. Now, I haven't really figured out whether I'm going to do this or not. Originally, I had a fish farm, which was giving me all kinds of bows, and I was thinking about making top-end infinity and mending bows, but I've got so many shops now going on with Alpha Corp, which I'm a member of, I don't know if I want to do that. The Sea Shop. Now, this is another shop that we are going to open up. Me and Bigelow had talked about this quite a while. We had one on a different server together. And we commissioned Vladtasic to build us a replica of Blackbeard's Queen Anne's Revenge flagship, and he had done a fantastic job, and I will show that in another video. The next thing was to start making videos. Well, we can go ahead and tick that off here, because this is the first video that we're making. Then we have the build a squid farm. Now, why do I need a squid farm if I've already got a wither rose farm, which gives me black dye? Well, for this, the Applejack Casino. One of the things that I'm doing with the Applejack Casino is we're doing a token system. Now, originally I was using iron nuggets as tokens, but anybody can go back and they can rename an iron nugget as a token and cheat the system, which I don't think anybody on this would, but just because I'm a little bit obsessive about that stuff, I decided that instead of using a tokens based on iron nuggets, I'm going to use books, signed books. So I need a lot of books and quills, and to make books and quills, you need ink sacs. So I need a squid farm to get ink sacs. Now, I did find a very interesting squid farm build from Logical Geek Boy using portals that I want to try out. I found a spot for it. I just haven't gotten around to building it yet. So maybe we'll do that on another episode too. Then we've got to build arenas. Now, that's something I've been talking about since the beginning of the season. My son, Kiddos123, also plays on this server, and one thing he would like to do is PvP. He loves PvP. So I want to build arenas. I want to build one in the overworld, one in the nether, and one in the end. Now, my partner in crime in Alpha Corp, Bigelow, he had started building a base. It was a circular base, very similar to Mumbo Jumbo's base in Hermitcraft Season 6. But then he abandoned it, and he was going to tear it down. And I told him, I said, no, let's turn that into an arena. So that is where our overworld arena is going to be. That is one of the future projects we have on this server, and we will get to it. So then we've got to expand the trading hall again. I'll show you the trading hall here in a few minutes, and you'll see what I'm talking about. We've already got 2 areas done on it, but I want to do another area with another 16 traders. Then finally, on the final row, we have build a wall around a base. I do need to build a security wall, build a lake. Where we're out there by the bridge, I want to turn that entire river system into a lake with a waterfall going out to the ocean. Work on the castle? Well, yeah, as I showed you earlier, still have a lot of work to do in here. It's basically just a giant cave for right now. Sort out the shulker monster. Yes, I'm being overran with the shulker monster again, and I will show you guys that here in a little bit. And find a use for an elevator system. Now, with the elevator system, I had designed, in my test world, a redstone bubble elevator that would allow you to pick which one of 5 floors you wanted to go on, press a button, step into it, go up to that floor, then press a button, be taken back down without breaking the bubble column. Really? Really? Why am I showing you guys my feet? I don't know. But it is amazing. So, I want to find a use for that in this world here somewhere. And I think I'm going to do it into the Applejack Casino once I get that rebuilt, which will be shown in another episode. But in the meantime, let me show you around here real quick. Now, over here we have a super smelter system. It's very, very simple. I've got 8 furnaces on each side, hoppers leading to the top and to the back and out the bottom, and I've got rail running across them. So these top 2 minecart chests here, you fill with the items you want to smelt. The bottom 2 you fill with fuel. You throw a lever, they start down the line, and the furnaces all fire up, and then everything gets collected in these chests down here. Now, I've got nothing to smelt, so it's not operations right now, and it is dark, so let's go ahead and sleep before bad things start to spawn in. Feels like Jeopardy in here. And this is what I was talking about, the shulker monster, clearing this up. I'm starting to be overran by a shulker monster in my storage area, which is kind of funny because I've got all this storage space here. I've got everything sorted out. I get lazy. I come in here, I throw the shulkers down like that and just turn around and leave them and not worry about them. Yeah, it's quite the pain, but I will get it all cleaned out. This over here is my trash system. It's very simple. You got 2 observers hooked up to a dispenser, which fires stuff coming in from this hopper over here in his chest straight down into a pool of lava. So I'll fill his chest up with stuff that I don't want. Throw this lever back here, and boom, everything gets shot down into the lava and out of the way. Now, this bubble elevator up here takes me to the upper. This is going to be my throne room if I ever finish it. The phoenix we saw on the outside of the castle, I want to mirror on the inside of the castle to give a nice light. Put my throne up in here, put some columns up around here, dig all this out, put a nice little roof over top of it. I just really haven't gotten around to it because I've been so busy with building farms and running shops, and you'll see all that in the future. For those of you guys who are on the Craftyones server, you already know all about Alpha Corp and everything that we've got going on there. So in here is my trading hall. Now my trading hall is not my design. This was a Logical Geek Boy who first put this on, and I used his template. The only difference between mine and his is he had these redstone blocks that when they were down, to show that there was no villager in this stall, it would light a redstone lamp. I kind of figured that was redundant because you could just look in the stall and see whether a villager was there or not. So I decided to opt out of the redstone lamps. I figured it was a waste of material for me. But if I wanted to wall this up, make it nice and efficient, and just have some kind of extra thing, it would be quite nice and quite useful. I just haven't bothered to do it. Now, up in here, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, right up in there. This area here, I have a small villager farm. Now, it's nothing that great. It's very inefficient, but it's taking care of all the needs I have. So, when the farmer up there collects the carrots and the villagers breed, there is a little one high block with trapdoors which the little villagers will fall down in, and they'll carry through a water system which will bring them down into this spot here. You can see I have 2 villagers down in there. Now that sign in the back gives a nice little 1x1 air block for them to breathe in, and they'll get sucked up here when they grow to adult and become too high. Well, they'll trip a tripwire in front of this observer, which activates these pistons and kicks a minecart out from a dispenser back here behind or in front of this hopper in his chest. The minecart picks them up and runs them down through the rail. If any of these workstations are open, it will kick the villager out into that particular workstation, and then I can start training them all up. However, if all the workstations are full, the villagers will be brought over to this stall here, to where they will be kicked out and dropped down into this lava. Now that may sound harsh, but it does help keep down some of the server lag by keeping the excess entities that I don't need from standing around gossiping and updating. So we don't want any more villagers hanging around here than what we absolutely need. So while it may be cruel, it is a game, and if they don't have a use, I got to get rid of them. Now over here we have our sheep farm. I need to move this sheep farm. I need to figure out where I'm going to put it, take it out, get it out of here, because I want to build my villager base out, and it's going to take up at least half, if not more, of where the sheep farm's sitting. Now, because I live in a gravelly biome, gravelly mountain biome, it's a little bit difficult to figure out where I want to put these sheep. But I'm sure I can flatten out an area, put some grass down, and we'll have some place for a sheep pasture. As you can see, I've got several beacons down here. My nice spiraling staircase, which takes us all the way down to Belgium. I've got 12 beacons here. I don't need 12 beacons, but I really like the pattern in the nice little plus sign, nice little baby cross, I guess you can call it, with the yellow and the orange. It really accents and pops out from the front of the structure. Really highlights where that phoenix is in front of my base. Now, over here, I dug out this giant pit. Why did I dig out this pit here? Something to do. I was actually thinking about making this my storage area. Got a lot of diamonds and stuff out of it. But then I decided I didn't want to run up and down the stairs all the time to get to my stuff that I was storing. So I haven't figured out anything to do with it. Now, there is a slime chunk back here, and there's a slime chunk up front. So I have been able to get some slime out of it. And I was thinking about turning it into an impromptu slime farm. But I really don't need slime that much, and all the slime that I've already gotten. So I may not. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. If you have any ideas of what I can do with that room down there, that big pit, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. But that is pretty much the tour of my base, except for this little area up here, which, yes, it is dark, but these are all bottom slabs. They'll keep mobs from spawning. And then we've got my cocoa beans over here, or my cocoa pods over here, which gives me cocoa seed for brown dye, and rose bushes for red dye, sunflowers for yellow dye, and then we've got the magenta and the pink dye, and I can't remember the name of these. I think one's an orchid, one's a lilac, or something like that. I don't know. I'm terrible with flowers. But that, combined with the zombies spawner I have, which gives me plenty of leather, the skeleton spawner is actually what I was thinking of, which gives me plenty of bone for the white dye, the wither rose farm that I have, which gives me plenty of wither roses for black dye, the cactus farm I have, which gives me plenty of green dye. Those particular dyes up there I showed you, I can fabricate pretty much any dye I want. I've got a bunch of alchemists over there which sell me lapis, so I can get plenty of blue dye. I have access to every dye, all 16 colors of dye. Don't have to worry about building excessive farms. Don't have to worry about going out there mining and grinding away at different resources to try to get. And excuse me, guys, I'm having a little bit of a train wreck going on here. My train of thought is just derailing and killing everybody on board. It's terrible. It is massively terrible. It is horrendous sight. Paramedics have been called, and nobody is. There are no survivors. So, with that, I am going to go ahead and cut it off here because I only have about 15 minutes. And like I said, leave me a comment, leave me a like, subscribe. Tell me what you want to see me build up in here, because I just don't know. It's massive. It's massive. It's a little bit overwhelming. Fun, but overwhelming. And we will see you next time. So, have a good day.